So a quick little message to you, my students. I was thinking about you in Zumba class last night when I should have been paying more attention to the instructor. That's why I'm the world's worst Zumba dancer, by the way. But it also illustrates this idea that I expressed in class, that you know you're teaching when you become like a mother possum or opossum, carrying her babies around on her back. When you're carrying your students around on your back, when you're thinking about them, when you're not teaching, when you're thinking about learning outside the school setting, then you know you've become a real teacher. So I was thinking about class last night in my Zumba class, in which I'm the worst Zumba dancer ever. And I'll get to that in a minute. But I was experiencing joy, and it made me think of things. Why do I include Jerry the joke cow and Donna the dance dog in my literacy class? Well, a couple reasons. The rest between the notes in the music of teaching life are just as important as the notes. Those moments apart from input and lecture, those spaces, enable the brain to make connections with other things. So even though you think you may not be thinking about things, your brain is connecting to other things at the subconscious level. You're getting all learned up without thinking about it. And second, it creates a positive atmosphere. Even though it's a bit dorky, at least it's a little fun to see what kind of corny joke somebody would tell. And you come to class knowing that at some point that somebody is going to dance, even if it's kindly old Dr. Johnson. Positive emotions enhance learning. Negative emotions impede learning. Donna the dance dog, way to build community, have fun, and laugh at kindly old Dr. Johnson, and it's all good. But back to joy. There is joy in teaching, and I hope someday you're able to find it. When you're teaching from your authentic self, when you bring your authentic self into the classroom, not your teacher persona. Oh, I must act like a teacher now. Your authentic self, who you are. When you bring your passions into the classroom, there is magic and there is joy. And I hope you're able to find this joy someday. There is joy in teaching. Now, I love drama. I love dance. I love creativity. I love when people are silly and able to be silly. It brings me joy to be part of this, to bring this into the classroom. I did it when I was teaching second grade, and when I feel comfortable with a class, and I'm feeling comfortable with you, I do it as kindly old Dr. Johnson. But to see our monkeys up in front of the room being monkeys and our hat salesperson in class was a joyful experience. I'm experiencing joy. When I'm doing it, it's much more likely that my students might experience joy, or at the very least, touch upon what might be in your future classroom. Discovering joy is an important part of teaching, whatever form that takes for you. So it could be seeing students writing or connecting or sharing. These are things that bring me joy. When I get to know my students, and I do this through seeing your posts, it enables me to see you and be more authentic. These are things that also bring me joy. When I'm able to get glimpses of your real self. So start thinking about what brings you joy. You're going to be out in a classroom in a year or two, hopefully. And think about what you might bring into the classroom, how you might bring your authentic self, but maybe you have a passion for science or poetry or sports or music. Whatever it is, find a way to bring this into the classroom. And you may not know right now what brings you joy. Community brings me joy. When people are authentic and real in a classroom, that brings me joy. Now, it may not happen your first year of teaching because you'll be a bit overwhelmed, but in your second year, you might see these glimpses of authenticity and joy. And you'll remember, that's what that silly bald man was talking about way back in 2022. Don't be afraid to be significant, to find your joy, to find yourself, and to find your students.